My girlfriend put an AirTag on my motorcycle to prove to her mom that I don't have any side chicks, and now I don't know if I can trust her anymore. I've never made a Reddit post on this sub before, but I read posts here occasionally. I'm going to make my submission as concise as possible, but I'm not a great storyteller, and this whole situation is a little more nuanced than my crappy ability to articulate it. I'm 27M, and my girlfriend is 33F. Although our relationship started out very intense and unpredictable, we quickly developed strong feelings and have been together for 3 years. Despite being together that long, I just met my girlfriend's parents for the first time a few weeks ago. She is an only child and said she didn't want to introduce anyone she dated to her parents unless she knew it was someone she wanted to marry. Her parents also live abroad, and due to COVID and her dad's health problems, they hadn't visited her for a while. She usually went to visit them. It was a big step for her to tell me she wanted me to meet them, and I did my best to make a good impression. I was raised by my grandmother. When she passed, my older sister took over caring for me. My girlfriend, on the other hand, has had a stable upbringing. Her parents are wealthy, and she's led a privileged life. We don't have the same life experiences, but it was never a problem until I met her parents. If anything, our differences have, for some reason, added to our relationship in positive ways. Unfortunately, I got the impression that her parents were scrutinizing every aspect of my life over the dinner we had at our first meeting, including my family. I stayed true to myself and maintained my confidence but left the interaction feeling like I had bombed a test. My girlfriend reassured me that they liked me. However, her mood over the next few days suggested otherwise. I called her out on it and pressed her for an explanation. I learned that she'd been upset because of a fight she had with her mother after the dinner. Her mother thinks I'm just having fun with her daughter, that I'll get bored and leave her, and that she's too old to be wasting time with me. Apparently, her mother formed this impression entirely based on the way I look, and this judgment about me trumps anything else I shared about myself. My girlfriend and I decided I should spend more time with her family over the holidays, so I've been going over every day and involving myself in shopping trips, etc., with my girlfriend and her mom, hoping she would get to know me and overcome her skepticism. I even spent hours getting a crash course in a strategy board game her dad plays and started playing with him to continue bonding. Despite feeling like I won her dad over, I feel like her mom is constantly evaluating my loyalty in subtle, and unrealistic, ways. Examples include overanalyzing how I interact with others in public, reading too much into the way I smile, and the way I show affection toward my girlfriend. According to my girlfriend's mom, the fact that I have a motorcycle makes me extra slutty. And that's how this escalated. My sister and I have an 18-year-old dog. It's been a tough few months for him, and I think he's approaching the end. For that reason, one of us is usually always with him. He's on the smaller side, so he's easy to bring along anywhere. I've had to leave to give my dog his medicine at certain times of the day because he's on a schedule, and I guess my girlfriend's mom found even this suspicious. The other day, I left my girlfriend and her family to give my dog his medicine, and on my way there, my phone alerted me that an AirTag was traveling with me. When I reached my place, I searched all my pockets and belongings and eventually found it on the motorcycle itself. It was connected to my girlfriend's mom's number. I told my girlfriend, and she admitted that she put her mom's AirTag on my bike to prove to her mom that I wasn't lying about where I was going. I get that she was trying to defend me, but I feel angry at her. It's hard to articulate, but ever since I met my girlfriend's family, the microaggressions from her mom are really getting to me, and it's hard to separate them from my girlfriend. I'm hoping I'm just overstimulated by all of this and that things will get better after Christmas is over. I'm not sure if I'm a jerk for being cold toward my girlfriend about the AirTag, but it's a frustration I'm having trouble letting go of. Relevant comments. Commenter. The most foundational part of a relationship is the trust between two people. The fact that she didn't tell you about it suggests that she also wanted to see what you were doing because if she trusted you, she should have defended you. Parents have been skeptical since the first cave person brought another back to their parents. It's up to both her and you to convince them otherwise. You seem to have done a lot, so it may just come down to direct face-to-face conversations with the 3 or 4 of you to really hammer this home. Otherwise, who knows what else might be done next to test your loyalty. Ops response. That's what I've been struggling with. The fact that she didn't let me in on her plan makes me wonder if she wanted to test me too. Even if that's not the case, the whole approach has pissed me off. Commenter 2. If one of you is always with the dog, why did you have to leave to give him his medication? Ops response. So, this was on my watch. He just had a nasogastric tube put in, and it's been more comfortable for him to stay at home rather than me taking him out in the cold. The distance between my place and my girlfriend's is very short. Update 1 month later. Op posted a new post that was titled, "My girlfriend's parents surprised me with a visit overseas. I'm considering breaking up with her. I'm 28M, and my girlfriend is 33F. We've been together for a few years and have discussed getting married. Unfortunately, ever since I met her parents last year, their behavior, specifically her mom's, has made it difficult for me to see a future anymore. Her mom mistrusts me, and it's all based on superficial impressions and assumptions about who she thinks I am. I have tried to be patient and extremely respectful, giving them opportunities to get to know me and overcome their prejudices. Everything came to a head when I visited my home country. I have a place here, and I came to attend a friend's wedding. Her parents showed up unannounced and requested a ride from the airport. I immediately called my girlfriend, despite the time difference, because I was in shock. She claims she had no idea about their plans. They insist it was all impromptu, a cheap flight, last minute, etc., but I just don't buy it. Anyway, I picked them up, and they're currently staying with me in my apartment. They have no itinerary but want me to arrange for them to see X, Y, and Z. Of course, they need me as a translator. Everything is apparently too foreign to them, they're lost without me. They refuse to go anywhere without me as their escort. My girlfriend is apologetic, but I just don't see her supporting me in dealing with her parents, especially her mom, who is the instigator. Her dad has no backbone and is forced to follow her lead. I posted about another issue a while back too. My girlfriend doesn't support me in setting boundaries, so as her partner, I feel stuck between a rock and a hard place. I can't tell if I'm being cold and unwelcoming or if these people are genuinely unreasonable and my girlfriend is so afraid of them that she didn't even warn me about something like this. I feel like I can handle anything if she's on my side. But it doesn't feel like she is. Maybe I can't be with someone like that. Second update 6 days later. I just wanted to clarify a few things. I met my girlfriend's parents for the first time in late November 2024. The reason I picked them up from the airport instead of abandoning them or telling them to find a hotel, etc., was out of respect for my girlfriend and the relationship I wanted to have with her, and her parents. After our first meeting in late November, which I mentioned in my first post, I confronted my girlfriend. She apologized, and eventually, her mother did too. I genuinely thought we had moved past whatever suspicions and mistrust her mother had about me. Then this happened. Over the last few days, since all of this started, I've realized some things about my relationship. My girlfriend has been trying to play both sides, telling me one thing and her parents another. She's been hiding some deep trust issues and insecurities about our relationship, mostly fears about me being unfaithful. I want to be clear that these fears are not due to anything I've done, it's just how she feels. She used her parents to convince me it wasn't just her paranoia, and I'm pretty sure she told her mom how she felt, and her mom was willing to go along with it. I broke up with my girlfriend and asked her parents to leave. The friend's wedding I attended hit differently because of all this. But it also made me realize how unhealthy and toxic my relationship was. I haven't shared everything, but I think I was in an abusive relationship. I'm still struggling to accept that, and there's some shame creeping in that I don't quite understand. Why is it even there? Anyway, thanks for all the messages. Sorry if my writing isn't great, I'm so drained from this situation. I feel like I need to sleep for a month. I don't even feel like writing about any of this, but I felt I owed you all the conclusion. Relevant comments. Commenter. Sounds like that trip was her parents checking up on him for her because of her insecurities. I'm glad he bailed on that. Ops response. It was definitely to investigate me. I don't think I'll ever know what my ex-girlfriend and her mom were suspicious about. Did they think I was secretly married or living some kind of second life? I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to look into my employment history, etc. I feel so stupid for the kindness I extended to them. I tried to be understanding of every transgression and let my girlfriend gaslight me into thinking I was just misunderstanding things because I didn't have parents growing up. Commenter. Did the parents leave peacefully, or did they attempt to somehow extend their stay? Ops response. They were dumbfounded. I didn't expect them to understand my feelings, so I said the least. I spoke to her dad privately and informed him first to arrange a hotel accommodation. I left it to my ex-girlfriend to explain it to them. I told them they could contact her, but I was asking them to leave. It's also worth mentioning, because it makes me angry, I wasn't able to express it in my previous post due to being in shock and distracted by other issues, that her parents have been to my country several times. Her mom has had tons of small procedures and treatments in my country, so I'm not sure why, all of a sudden, they needed me as an escort. It seemed like she was trying to say she only comes to my country for her treatments but doesn't care about anything else, so is that why she's unfamiliar? These people live in another world. I always feel like I'm going a little insane having any form of conversation with them. Third update 8 days later. To those who were worried my ex-girlfriend would trash my place, nothing like that happened. I talked to her in person. She said I was misunderstanding everything. She began to cry, which was difficult for me. There was a moment when I wanted to forget all of it just so I could hug her. I held back because something felt different. She asked me if I hated her. Obviously, I don't. I said I was tired of feeling like the person I loved was not who I thought they were. Ever since she introduced me to her parents, and her close friend circle, which I didn't talk about, I've seen a side of her I don't recognize. After meeting her parents for the first time and noticing the strange behavior adding up, I gave her an opportunity to come clean. I asked her to tell me everything. I told her, I can't help you if you leave me in the dark. I even warned her that if I found out later, it would be over. Because of the way she chose to answer me during that conversation, every action I took, I held back. All she had to do was tell me what was going on. I would have helped her take on everything. Instead, she chose to trick me in cruel ways while acting helpless and innocent when I questioned her about it. I shielded her all this time. She manipulated everyone around her, including me. Everything is confusing now. I look back at all our time together and feel crazy. I can't differentiate anymore her true feelings about anything. She tried to explain that the stress of pleasing her friends and family made her act this way, but she doesn't share their views or doubts about me. She said she's never loved anyone the way she loves me, and her feelings scare her. I wish she would just admit she had too much effing pride. I understand she is the way she is, probably due to how she was raised. But some of the things she has said and done are unforgivable. The conversation went on, but everything was still other people's fault. She wasn't taking any accountability. So I stood by my decision to stay broken up. To be honest, by hesitating for even that singular moment when I wanted to hold her, she showed me the side of her that comes out when she doesn't get her way. For the first time, I felt like what I was seeing was actually her true self. We were having this conversation while walking outside. We had stopped walking, and she was wiping her tears. When she realized I wasn't going to comfort her, she started saying degrading things about me. She also brought up again that my life is easier than hers because I grew up with no parents. This comment was so messed up it made me laugh. I told her she's so privileged she has no idea what it even means to have a hard life. Because I laughed, I could tell she wanted to throw her coffee at me. She didn't. Instead, she said some more things about me, and I realized I don't care anymore because I don't even recognize this woman yapping in front of me. Since then, she has emailed me an Excel spreadsheet of all the money I owe her. The things she has itemized include all the time she upgraded me on a flight, luxury gifts she bought me for birthdays, Christmas, etc. She also included ridiculous things like the estimated cost of gas times the number of times she was my designated driver. And pregnancy tests. I think she added this just to mess with me. I'm not going to bother explaining my contributions. This email made me sick. I packed her things that were in my apartment. I had a friend come over when she came to collect them. She didn't know this. I answered the door, and she pushed against me and tried to initiate. I didn't return her advance, and she got angry and scratched me. I think maybe she was trying to slap me but couldn't reach. I'm not really sure because it happened too fast, and I restrained her. My friend came out and started calling her out on it. He made a show of taking a video and threatened her with assault. I think it embarrassed her, so she probably won't do something like this again. The only downside to his presence was I think she will try to convince herself I rejected her in that moment because he was there. For people asking about my dog, he's happy and comfortable, and still alive. He eats well despite his age. My priority is to improve the quality of his life, not unnecessarily prolong it. But every night, I check on him before I fall asleep. And every morning, I wake up with this feeling of dread. He has Cushing's disease and chronic pancreatitis. He is high risk for developing cancer. The medication routine is a bit complex, but I am learning everything I can for him. Take care of your pets and check them often for lumps. A lot of animals hide their pain. I guess we have that in common. Maybe I shouldn't have ended the post like this. Anyway, I'm really okay. I posted this update because I got a lot of messages, and it's easier than answering them separately. In case I don't feel like answering comments, I'll just leave this here. There is a lot I haven't shared. There is a lot I haven't even admitted to myself yet. I am not saying I am perfect. It's not about being right or wrong anymore. I have a lot of flaws too. I'm sure I handled some things poorly. And I know I was a fool. I also still experience moments where my heart aches, and I question if I'm wrong about everything, wanting to just get back together. Hopefully, this will get easier with time. Anyway, writing here counts as therapy, right? I'm going to go drink a cold beer in the shower. Relevant comments. Commenter. Those are gifts, you don't owe her money. Ops response. I won't be paying her. She's just playing games.